Aljamain Sterling. First time I seen this dude fight, it's for my UFC fans, and I loved it. I don't know if I'd ever seen a fighter where every movement that he does parlayed itself into a strike. It was his forward pressure. It was sort of like water, but at the end of the movement was like a whip of some sort. And his pace was incredible. He had a super fast pace. First round, second round, third round. And you could see he started to slow down and you weren't sure what was going to happen with the fight, but the kid could take shots. And his opponent was a really solid fighter. And you have to be wary of those because they can catch you at any moment if you slip up, like fighters who wait for you to make the mistake. And when you're moving as much as you were and you were being as hectic and frantic as you were, because that's the word I would have used to describe his fighting style, frantic. And it was working for the most part, but you saw it started to slow him down a little bit. And I didn't want the fight to end. The guy who's fighting Jan, just a solid striker. And so they were doing a lot of striking, and then Aljamain ended up on the ground. This was right before he came over. Aljamain ended up on the ground, and the other guy, I think it was in Russian, asks his corner because he wasn't sure what to do. He said, "Yo, should I kick him?" And his corner said yes. It was Khabib's corner, and so he kneed Aljamain Sterling in the fucking head. While he was down, while his knees were still on the ground, which is an illegal strike. Yeah. You know, ref calls the fight. Aljamain Sterling, like, out of it. Not KO'd, but concussed. Concussed for sure. And they ended up calling the fight and disqualifying the guy, Jan, who was the champ, and giving it the belt and the win to Aljamain Sterling. Sort of, I don't know if controversial is the right word, but started conversation nonetheless around just how bittersweet of a win that is for a fighter who works that hard, and you won by DQ. And again, who knows what would have happened. But in my opinion, like, take that fucking win. Chin up. I tweeted at him, like, walk around with that belt with your chest out. You deserve that shit. That strike was so disgustingly illegal. And, you know, I've thrown an illegal strike in my life. It wasn't like that. That was like intent to kill. You knew it was illegal. The referee said, yo, don't kick him while he's down. And he still chose to.
Oh, wait, the ref said don't do it?
Yeah.
Oh, and then what the fuck?
You remember they showed the clip of the ref whispering in the doctor's ear, like, I told him not to do it.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. He like purposely is whispering. They're like, here's the audio you weren't meant to hear. And it was this like tight up mic of. But the interesting thing about that fight is like he should hold his head high because it was an incredibly close fight. It was an incredibly good fight.
Yeah.
And like it could have, he could have potentially won that fight anyways. The tougher ones are when you're getting your ass beat by somebody anyways. Like say he was going to lose the fight 1000% and then he gets kneed in the head. He can't celebrate that as much. He could have very well won that fight.
I agree.
So I agree with you on that.
He threw the belt on the ground. I've never seen that.
That was a little, he got a bit performative and a bit exaggerated. It seemed like
he was being a bit of a drama queen. I really do. I don't. He walked out, you know, with his arm around his boy, kind of like limping a little bit. Like fighters who get like knocked the fuck out don't walk. They just like walk out normally. I thought he was being a bit dramatic, if I'm being honest. But like, yeah, fuck it, like flop. You know, be a showman.
But or like also it is worth noting too, like obviously a ton of emotion and
sure.
like that feeling of training for something and having it like if he felt like it was taken from. I mean, I felt similarly, but it's hard to tell someone in that situation like how to feel, how to act. I watched a video today of some guy that was doing the one of like Tour de France. He popped his back tire on his bike after training for 6 months for it, and he was in the lead, and the cars didn't stop to help him with the wheel, and he just sat on the ground and just started crying for like 20 minutes because no one helped him. So like, yo, you train for something like that and then it gets stripped from you by something outside of your ability to control.
Yep.
That's tough.